Hi guys, Browning A-bolt, coming to be glass bedded and pillar bedded. It is not the original stock of this rifle, so the owner just wants it to be bedded and he wants those gaps to fill in, and we'll see how far we can get back on this action. Uh, we'll pull it apart and do the planning from there. Got that A-bolt out the stock. What I've done was I've turned a pillar and I made the pillar 3/8 and go in over there. Got that the right length, and the reason I would have liked to go bigger on the pillar, but right over there is a cross bolt, and I don't know what that cross bolt is, and I don't know how big it is. I don't know if it's the size of that plug. There's a wooden plug on there. I don't know if it's the size of the plug. Is it just a thin pin that goes through there? And the edge of that sits about, if you consider, it's about the size of the shank of that screwdriver. So if I go bigger and it is indeed the size of the plug, I will hit that. So decided to stay inside of that. So drill that out and then did rough it up on the inside with a tap, and then put some grooves on the pillar. So that's what's going to happen there, and then I will relieve material and bed it up to there. I'm not going to bed at the back. All the Browning forums advise against it. So this has got a plate that goes in there, and the trigger guard is just aluminum, and it's got a dinky screw that just holds the trigger guard in. So there's very little tension on you, or you can't really collapse the stock with that little screw. And at the same time, what you are doing is, so this runs on there, so you are sandwiching the stock between the trigger guard and that plate. So all the forums, it says there's no advantage in doing that. And it's just a very complicated mess to bed that. Got the pillar in. I've epoxied that in, and I've relieved some wood to give some purchase area for the glass bedding, for the Acraglas to sit in. So the action's ready to go into the stock with the Acraglas. So I got this entire action's waxed up. I got a stud there that will locate the action in the pillar that's already in the stock. I got a single layer of electrical tape at the bottom of the lug, the front and the sides of the lug. I'm going to have a little bit of lockup over there on the front. I'm going to try and get some more wax in. I just use Kiwi shoe polish, and I'm going to get a little bit of lockup on that lug there. On the barrel, I got about, I can't remember, 7-8 layers, I worked it out, of electrical tape on the barrel. And what that is doing is it is locating the barrel in the middle of the so if I line it up over there, so that ensures that the barrel, and I'm not going to put it in there because I don't want to get the wax on there, that ensures that the barrel is not canted and that it lies center in the channel, because I've milled out that slot so this whole thing can float, and the electrical tape will align the barrel there, and the pillar will align on that stud, and then we'll clamp it down. I filled in with some clay there, so if I do have any spillover, I don't want to fill up that channel. It's not going to look nice. Then I can just take it out with that clay or putty, whatever you like to call it. That's just plumber's putty. I've got the stock all masked up. I'm going to get the squeeze is going to come out here. Then I can clean that up and just pull the painter's tape off, and that will ease up the cleanup. Got the cavity all butted up, and now we need to sink the action into the stock. Okay, got it in the got the action in, got the barrel clamped in a vise. Now just for the rough cleanup, here's a neat little trick. Take a soda straw, and although this one doesn't have a lot of squeeze out, you just scoop up the squeeze out with the soda straw, and then you just discard that straw. So you got two sides to do it with. And then you can, do it with some Q-tips. After the rough clean, got all the excess off. Now needs to sit in here for 10 hours. Then we'll break it out, do final cleaning, put it back in, let it sit for another 36 hours or so. All done. So got a little bit of epoxy flowing onto the pillar. There's a pillar at the bottom, and little mottles you see, that's I had a little bit too much wax on the action as releasing agent, and that kind of just pressed in little mottles on the Acraglas. I filled up this channel with clay, and then my squish didn't come out the top, it went forward, so it flowed over my over that clay. So anyway, I just cut it out just to make it look neat. I didn't want to have that clay trapped underneath the Acraglas there. Suppose I could have left it. Anyway, I used Acraglas, and I put 10% by volume of that in, just to strengthen it up. I can't find any torque specs for a Browning A-bolt for these screws. Even the Browning manual says this must be completely tight, and then you tighten that one completely tight. So whatever completely tight means. Just to show the gap there, so I had the electrical tape around the barrel to space it out and make sure it ends up in the center of the stock, and it is perfectly centered. Anyway guys, I hope you found that interesting and that it helps somebody out there. Stay safe, we talk again. Cheers.